So building your own infrastructure.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this period we talked about earlier,
Yeah.
between essentially going from zero to owning assets. That period we talked about, so having no liabilities during that period. What you've actually got to do, and it might sound obvious, but what you actually have to do is save.
Sure.
And you have to build your asset base, because during that period it's going to be very, very easy for you, for example, to go and take a job somewhere, get a salary every month, and then start signing up for liabilities based on that salary. So the best way to do things is actually build up your business. So work for yourself, build up a business. It can still be done if you're working for a business or a corporation, but it's more difficult. You've just got to live well within your means, and you've got to have no liabilities. So liabilities like we talked about earlier, with mortgages, overdraft facilities, credit cards, taking loans to buy cars, stuff like this. You've got to have no liabilities, and you've got to save. And even if you have to rent, for example, or share an apartment for 10, 15 years, you've got to be prepared to do that, and you've got to drop your pride. Setting up businesses, if that's the choice you're going to make, there's a million ways to make $1 million. You can start off small, and you don't have to have hundreds of thousands of pounds, hundreds of thousands of dollars to start businesses off. Most small businesses you can start off with nothing. So if that's something that you want to do, that's the way you have to do it. You have to start small and build this asset base. So during that entire period, going from zero up to owning assets, it's saving and having no liabilities. And in its entirety, what you're trying to do is essentially build your own infrastructure. So you're building your own pension. Now, if you look at the way the pensions industry works in the Western world, so if you look at the United States, United Kingdom, Europe, what's become really apparent in the last 5 to 10 years is that the generation previously who started on the pensions infrastructure in the 70s and throughout the 80s and 90s and noughties, those people are not able to retire properly.
Right.
So if they can't do that, it means the pensions question or the pensions solution has not been met, because the whole point of a pension is that it provides you income in retirement.
Yeah.
And these people can't retire.
Sure.
So pensions infrastructure has failed in the Western world. So whether that's the fault of the system or the fault of the people themselves, it's probably a mixture of the two. But essentially the stats are across the US, Europe, United Kingdom, the annual national average salary